What is up, guys? Welcome back to my cycling channel. Today's video is going to be a little different. I'm going to show you how I got my FTP up to 400 watts. Last year on August 18th, I did 420 watts for 20 minutes. And I'm going to go all the way back to 2014 and show you how in 6 years I got to where I am today. I'm also going to do this video a little different. I'm going to get a little personal. I'm going to tell you about what it's been like for me, how I've been able to dedicate myself to cycling. So hopefully you like it. I'm trying something a little different here. Yeah, so if you like it, great. If you don't, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna show you right now the 420 watts I did for 20 minutes. I remember that day, I just told myself, I knew I could do 15 minutes at 420. So I just thought that extra 5 minutes is all I had to do. So that's what I did. I focused on getting to 15 minutes. And then I was like, okay, now the race is on. Let's do this thing. I remember the last 3 minutes of that was crazy. Like I was just holding on for dear life. So I'll show you this right now, the 420, and then we're gonna go back to 2014. We're gonna go over each year, and then I'm gonna give you my tips. I'm gonna tell you some things I didn't expect along the way, and if I could rewind, some things I would change. So we go to 2020, we go to 20 minutes, look at that, exactly 420, August 19th, and you can see here, this is the stretch of road that I picked, and you can see the power curve here. Boom. And then if we analyze it, pick that lap, you can see average power 420, average speed 441. Now I could have done this way faster if I got down in the drops, but I was sloppy. I was all over the bike, just going everywhere. And all I cared about was power. And you could see my cadence here all over the place, average cadence 84. And you could see my cadence at the end of this thing. Look, dropping to 67. Going up to 94. Also, really important, I use Strava for this. I find it's the best to compare year to year. It also goes right down to the minute and a half of your power curve. So some like jump between the minutes. This one I find the most accurate, I find it the most detailed, and I find it the most friendly to use, especially when you're jumping between year to year. All right, so if we start at 2014, you can see here starting at 20 minutes, 320. So I was a big boy back then too, and we're gonna talk about weight here because this weight plays a huge part of this story. I was sitting probably around 190, 195 pounds when I did this 320 watts. And when you see, yeah, I weigh almost 200 pounds, that 320 watts really doesn't mean anything. You go down to 5 minutes, 365, 330 for 10, 1 minute power, pretty crappy, 15 seconds. All right, now let's jump forward. Now 2015 is the darker line, and you can see I had a big jump, 366. That's a big jump. And I was training a lot. So we're also gonna need to bring up how much I was training each year. So in 2014, I rode 300 hours, which is pretty good. And then we go to 2015, I had a big jump where I doubled my riding, 666 hours, 20,000 kilometers. That's a lot of riding. And so you can see here, I had a big jump, but my weight was the same. I'm still sitting at about 185 pounds, 366 watts for 20 minutes, 379 for 10, 400 for 5, a minute at 700, that's pretty good. Now look at the 15 seconds here, it hasn't really changed. I got a big jump on my sprint though. I've never hit numbers like that in the last couple of years. 1700, I've never hit numbers like that. And because I lost 25 pounds, my sprint suffered. Once I lost that 25 pounds, I could never get my sprint back. So let's see how much I rode in 2016. Again, more 700 hours is a lot of riding. And you can see it's really starting to pay off here. 390, oh, I know what happened here. My power meter was broken. These numbers are all off by 35 watts. So you see 390 here, that's really 360. You go to 410, that's really 370. And I'll show you why, because when I fix the power meter the following year, you see the numbers don't even change. So let's go to 2017. If we compare 2017 to 2016, you can see 2017, all the numbers are lower, right? So that's because my power meter was broken. And I said in 2 months, my power meter in 2016 was 35 watts high. And you look at it here, 2017 is the darker line, 1 hour power. Look at that, 45 minutes. Look at this, what is that, 40 watts high? So I said it in a couple other videos. Guys, check your power meters. And the way you do this is hop on a trainer, a kicker, test them against your buddy. I had a friend of mine, he would always ride beside me and say, hit lap. and we would know our weights, and you could see if the power is off. Check your power meters, because this sucks. Like, this happened, and you can see here, like, look at this. These numbers, the next year, all my numbers drop. But I think I lost this year, from 2016 to 2017, I lost a little bit of weight, and I was becoming a better cyclist. I had a lot of life stuff happening in 2017. I decided to step back from my business, work less. I sold my house. I lived in this big house that was like 5,000 square feet. We paid millions for it. And then there was a housing boom in Canada. I sold it for double the price, moved up north, bought a house cash. Best thing I ever did. I wanted to be this big rich guy that had all this rich stuff and looked like this super rich guy. And then it just hit me that that's not who I am. That's not what I want to be. I really love cycling. So I just downgraded everything. And, you know, we bought a minivan, sold the house, downgraded our lifestyle, bought a bungalow up north, cash. And that was in 2017. It was one of the best decisions I ever made. We're here in Florida all winter, in a modest home. That's not about cycling though, but anyways, I told you this video is gonna be a little personal, because going back through these years like reminds me of like where I was in my headspace at the time. That was a kick in the pants. You can see their power meter, big kick in the pants. And I'm gonna leave it on 2016 and then we'll flip back to 2014. 2018 is where I decided to get serious. And my weight starts coming down a little bit more. I'm probably sitting around 180 pounds, about now 185 pounds. At the end of 2018, it was right after we just moved up north, and I really wanted to focus on cycling. And I fell in love with the sport. I love the social aspect. I love everything about cycling. So I said, I'm gonna take some more time away from work, and I'm really gonna focus and ride about 20 hours a week and really up my level. And so that's what I did. We go back and look at how much I rode in 2019, almost 32,000 kilometers, over almost 1,100 hours. And this is where I dropped the weight. Going into 2019, I lost about 25 pounds, but then I got another jump. Going into 2020, I was able to keep the weight off about 165 pounds. Not only that, I got a huge jump on my lower power. From 1 minute to 5, 6, 7 minutes, it just went, I was able to put out a big amount of power. You can see 6.5 watts per kilo. I just did about just under 500 watts for 7 minutes. 3 minutes at 550, a minute 750, 370 for 45 minutes. And then I did this long 100 kilometer TT. I did just over 300 watts for 2 hours, 20 minutes. That was a good day. The most impressive thing that I think I've done is probably the 7 minutes for 500 watts, just under 500 watts, 7 minutes. Yeah, I'm really proud of that. And now today in 2021, I'm training. I worry that I'm not even gonna be able to do that again. That's like how I was training like crazy. I had a comment on my channel that says this power is crazy. I should be racing and beating everyone. Let me say a couple things about that. When you start getting up at those high levels, everyone's good. This isn't crazy at high levels that I'm racing guys with power like this. Or I'm racing guys 20 pounds lighter than me, and as soon as it goes uphill, they need to do a fraction of this power to just crush me. Also, when you start looking at the draft, if I'm doing 500 watts and we're on the flat ground, someone behind me only needs to be doing 360. But the thing that I've been the worst at is just racing. You got to hit a turn at 50 kilometers an hour, or you got to bump some guy, or you need to be there. I was just never good at that. And I've seen guys with a fraction of the power than me show up at some crit and absolutely crush because they know how to turn, they know how to race. It's a race, but it's not like a triathlon. You need to know how to race, and I'm just not that good at it. And there are other guys that don't have the power that I have, but they're really good at racing, and they're gonna beat me every day of the week because it's a sport, you're racing other people. So when I see a comment like that saying, hey, you got this power, you should be winning races, they don't know cycling. And I'm not criticizing that person, I'm just trying to give a little bit more information with my experience going to these big races and racing the big boys. When you got 6 guys all racing for one guy, and they all know what they're doing, and they all got power, this isn't as important as that. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, how does this apply to you? What advice could I give? For me to get this power, I didn't do anything else. To ride 1,000 hours a year, it's hard to really do anything else in your life because you're worried about the next ride. You're worried about recovery. Big part of the reason I started this YouTube channel is 5 years from now, I didn't want my only thing in my life to be cycling. I wanted something else. And that's why I'm really trying with this YouTube channel, is because 5 years from now, I want to feel like I've done something more than just cycling. And that's what it took for me to get this fitness, is to really give up a lot of other things. And I kind of regret that today. I wish I kept things more balanced. What I really want to finish with, best part when I look back at this, is all the places I traveled with my family, some of the rides that I've done with my friends, all these different things that I experienced, working on my bike, or all these different memories that I have of cycling. I hope I gave you enough information today. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a really deep dive into my life and my history of fitness, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider liking it. Comment, tell me what you think. I would love to hear from you. You guys are what keep this channel going. You guys are the lifeblood of this channel, and I can't thank you enough. It's just, you guys are amazing. Your comments, your viewership, it is just so amazing that I've started this channel and you guys have supported me. I can't thank you enough. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, that's it. I'll catch you on the next video. We'll see you soon.